Hey, welcome to Swing Lethal Podcast in the Arena. We're talking flesh and blood today. I got my boy Dante with me. I got my boy Josh with me. Dante, how has your week in Flesh and Blood been?
I mean, it's mostly just been, it's mostly just been a lot of Talistra games, playing some of the new IRA on some open CC. Super excited for that army deck to come out. But yeah.
I'm excited to have a blue ancestral empowerment now. No?
No.
My bad. Shit.
Josh, actually.
Josh,
Yeah.
Welcome to the pod. How's your week of Flesh and Blood been?
Honestly, it's been pretty good. I basically didn't get to go to Armory this week, but I did get to play a bunch of games with you. And I
won every one of them.
Ran that circuit. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, that was fun, especially because like you did so well this week. In general, which you can talk about, but yeah, you did really well this week. So I was pretty happy that I got to be the one guy to take one over on you.
Yeah, I went a 3-0 to our Armory. Finally won an Armory on Katsu of all things. You can check that out in another video, our Armory recaps. But right now, we're talking about Flesh and Blood in the podcast. So we're gonna get into our first thing. If anybody has,
I believe that's me. And what I want to talk about. So we did record. So this is like our third time trying this. Every time that I try to record this, I do something wrong. I fuck something up. So luckily, at some point in between, they announced a new set, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. We're going to talk about Super Slam. Super Slam. So everyone talks about how Flesh and Blood is very fighting game coded, and other people believe that it's wrestling coded, right? It's very wrestling coded. And they're like, fuck it, wrestling it is. So they announced Super Slam, which is the wrestling set for Flesh and Blood, introducing 4 new heroes, and it has faces and heels, and it has all the cool stuff. And then also one of the things that they're doing with Super Slam is they're, instead of messing with the health of each hero, they're instead messing with the intelligence points on a couple heroes. So we have Tough Nut, who's the revered hero, Brute, 3 intellect. Interesting. And then we have Lyeth Goldmane, who's the little dwarf guy. He's the reviled hero, and he has 5 intellect. He's the first 5 intellect hero that the game has ever seen, and he has a pretty big downside though, in the form that like all of his cards have half armor and half attack. So it's kind of interesting to see like that. And then we have the other 2 heroes, which is Pleiades, and Pleiades we have no idea what the fuck she does. She has text. She has a lot of text actually, and she has a whole army deck coming out with her. But we do not know what she does. Yeah, she removes its suspense counter to put an aura of suspense, to do this, to do that, to make a confidence token. And we're like,
and
cool.
RKO.
Yeah, and RKO. And yeah, we have, and that is a cumulative of 0 information. But she is a revered guardian hero with more intellect and 40 life.
I am excited for Lyeth Goldmane. I love a heal. I love just a shitty person that you can feel good about hating. And him having 5 intellect is so fun because it's very much like the mastermind, kind of like when Seth Rollins was a heel for a long time. Is like he's like the architect, like, you know, the conniving, the always outthinking, or like finding a way out. I think 5 intellect is very like representative of that kind of archetype, specifically of a heel. I'm really, really interested and excited for Lyeth.
I have to be honest, I have not seen, and I have not watched any like WWE or AEW, you know, all the new ones that exist. I haven't watched any wrestling since I was like maybe 15. It was like the DX revival era, like, you know, back in like, you know, 2008 or something, 2009. That was the last time that I really was into WWE. But like, you can definitely see the transfer, and like it looks really cool. Like, yeah, it is definitely the face and the heel, and you can see like, okay, what they're trying to do with like Lyeth. Oh, and I forgot to mention that there's a new KO hero. Yeah, like KO. Yeah, the new KO reviled. He's a piece of shit, like always. A little cheat, and he gets to change a bunch of stuff. In the form that he gets to pay 4 resources to turn any card into a 6-power card. So you might have a little bit of fun doing like
6-power snatches.
Yeah, 6-power snatches.
Blue,
by the way,
blue snatches. Blue 6-power snatches.
The conversation that I've been hearing on KO is basically just been that he's unplayable. And I don't know how true that is. Like, but a lot of people are like, not that he sucks. Like what? Like
I
what
mean,
is he like? What is he doing?
everybody thinks shit sucks when it first come out, though. Didn't they feel some type of way about Gravy for like the first 30 minutes he was out?
True.
Josh,
See.
Josh told me, I love this quote. The Hunted was coming out, and I was super excited, and I was building up Syndra and Fang and everybody. And Josh told me this is probably going to be the first set in a while where the heroes are not impactful to the meta. And then Syndra won like the first event that weekend. Granted, she like kind of took a downturn after that, but right now in Nats,
to
Syndra
be fair,
is the most winning
She did take the
hero.
At that time, she did take the event, but she was like, it was Yuki Lee Bender, right? It was like Yuki Lee Bender, just like a crazy brew like master. Like she just does crazy stuff with this game, and there was like 4 people playing that deck at the event. Like it like meta wise, it didn't change the meta at all. It just fucking took it. You know what I mean? It just did it. So I don't think that set really changed the meta very much, but it did introduce strong heroes, and obviously now 5 months later, 6 months later, and 4 LLs later.
Yeah. Well, you didn't say change. You said impactful. They aren't going to impact the meta.
Like, to be fair,
winning an event
when
is
all
impactful.
the other good heroes disappear, then another hero might become a good hero. That's
Dante, how do you feel about SummerSlam or Slam Down, SmackDown, Super Slam? How do you feel about Super Slam?
I am a Leviathan player to my core. I fucking love brute cards. I'm praying to the Fab gods for another blue 6, but we'll get to that. Also, the greatest weapon in Fab that exists is finally playable in Rock. Tough Nut Rock. And I don't know. It's probably not good, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get me a foil Rock. Everybody's fucked. I don't know.
You better grab them right now, bro.
A whole foil Rock? Bro,
a whole foil Rock.
I think we were at Armory like 3 months ago, and I was looking at Marvel Rock, and I was like, I want to play this so bad. I'm having so much fun with this. And then someone explained to me like how Rock is actually played, and I was like, oh, that's why it's not played. Like that's why that card sees actually 0 play. So I didn't buy it. At the time it was like $40 or $50. I regret not buying it. I should have just bought it. I should have known that they were going to try to make that weapon work. You know?
That's something I love in Flesh and Blood. No card is obsolete forever. Yeah. Like there are so many cards that come out and you're just like, I don't see where this goes. I don't see a point in playing this. It's just going to go to the wayside and it's going to be like no money. And then they print something and it makes that card good or at least playable. And I love that. Soup. Yeah, we were just talking about that. Bright Lights has so many cards, and I loved the Galvanized mechanic in that limited, but Soup Up never found a home. It wasn't played in any mech hero. And now, I mean, in Puffin, I know Josh is on Pirate Puffin playing what, 6? 9 Soup Ups?
So I was messing around with 9, but right now I'm playing 6. I think the yellows are a little, but yeah. I mean, like those, just the Galvanized cards from Bright Lights in general, like they were not seeing any play. And then you introduce a hero that does something a little bit different when it comes to items and being able to produce items every turn. And getting to kind of, and not only that, but they're items that like always leave, right? Like they're not staying forever. They're coming and going, and it just turns like the Galvanized mechanic on all those cards, like to it cranks them to 9 or whatever, right?
And like Torque Tuned is a card that you saw and you were like, oh, I'm gonna play this. This is good. It's like a 2 for 4, and it can be pummeled. It can be pummeled.
It's a common, I think.
2 for 4 in blue.
Yeah, 2 for 4 in blue. So it's 2 for 4, 2 for 5, 2 for 6, and then it can be pummeled, and then it gives itself overpower with the if an item left the field this turn ability. So like, I mean, overpower is nothing to scoff at. You know, some heroes are really bad about covering overpower cards up. So cool. Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of LLing, speaking of heroes disappearing and leaving up a whole bunch of new a whole bunch of room for a bunch of heroes and a new meta. We had a bunch of things happen recently. Mainly, Nationals just finished up, I believe. So we have 49 Nationals to go over. We don't have to go over to all of them, obviously, but we can talk about like the most winningest deck, which is, like we said, Syndra, Slippy. I believe they're tied for the most winningest decks. And then we had a bunch of heroes LL. But in that season, we only had one, and that was my girl, Dash IE. Hero I started the game with. Love her. Didn't exactly love what she turned into or what she was, and then kind of moved away from her, but also like she's still huge influence on me playing this game at all, and then obviously like well loved by the community. And we go back a little bit further and we have the Misfell heroes that just LL'd, less so loved by their community, loved by their community, not by the community. And then, you know, we had Aurora, the same deal, same story. A lot of these heroes just kind of like coming and going really fast. Not Dash, and not Aurora, who's like right there on the corner. And then hopefully by the end of this year, we'll see like Kano disappear as well. I say hopefully.
And Azalea.
Yeah.
Azalea. Oh my God. $9.99 after a season, please.
Bro,
Azalea. Oh, come on.
Exactly $9.99 is crazy. But also like, I think I heard them on. I think it was the Flesh and Pod. The guys over there, Logan and them. Were talking about how like there was, and I didn't play during this time. There's a little bridge of time where I wasn't playing the game, but there was a time after Azalea like was released. You know, we had a couple guys in our locals that were like in love with her that were like trying to make her work. She wasn't very good. And then I stopped playing the game, came back, and when I came back to the game, she had just gotten Outsiders and was like starting to see play. But I guess that there was a whole bridge of time where she like almost a year, or maybe longer, where she didn't get any LL points, like at all. Mm-hmm. And there was like whole like different like pods of like there's like a whole different like section of time where there's like creators and different people putting money into like a different like a pile, basically saying like, hey, the first person LL will just get all this stuff. And I was like, that's cool. That's a cool little community thing that happened with Azalea, just for her to go not only gain a bunch of LL points over the years, but then like to be at that threshold and not like being the hero that's like right there at 999. Like that's super cool.
Yeah, and now people are gonna try to LL her.
Yeah. And then another really cool thing about that, like before we get into the Nationals results, then we can talk about that meta. I believe someone on Blue Sky, I think it was Marceline Bang. They posted a like spreadsheet that had all the heroes and how long they existed in the meta and how like when they were released and how old they were. And I was like, that's so cool. That's awesome to be able to look at all the heroes. Let me see if I can send it. Well,
were you able to see that, Dante?
You said what?
Were you able to see that?
No, I was not actually.
Yeah, so it's on Blue Sky. I think we had reposted it, but essentially it just has all the heroes and how long they lasted. So like we get to see like Azalea right now, right? She's at 999. She's been in the game for 5 years and 3 months and a few days, and she has the multiplier, right, and you know everything else. And then you can look at all the heroes that did LL and what point they did LL and how long they lasted and blah blah blah. And I was like, hey, this is such cool information. One of the things that is worth noting is aside from new, none of the MSC heroes lasted a year, right? So Enigma and Zen were out before a year was up. Aurora only lasted 7 months, and she closest to her was Bravo, right? Bravo was 4 months. Yeah. So like there's just a bunch of things going on in the LL like scape that I think is like interesting. Where it's like, damn, like you can kind of see like how long like Sarai lasted and how long Dash and soon to be, you know, Azalea lasted, where they lasted like 4 years to 5 years. Viceroy, I think LL'd like
untalented.
5 years. Yeah,
untalented heroes.
The only untalented heroes, which and they're all from the same set too. But I like it, so it's kind of interesting to see them like get their moment to shine, and then just immediately like get all the points that they need and just skyrocket to LL. But it's interesting, very very cool.
What is Dante? What's your relationship been with like the heroes that are LLing now? Because like Josh played the game like very close to like the inception of the game. I came in during Outsiders, so I've seen like a good amount of play with a lot of heroes. You're fairly new. How long have you been playing now? What is it?
I would say when did High Seas come out? A month ago?
Yeah, about a month ago.
So
yeah.
I would say about 2.5 months prior to High Seas release, I joined the game. I finally gave in to playing Fab, finally, after some years of consideration. And, you know, I always hear these very horror movie things about, you know, Starvo, Zen before the bans, Jermai in general, all these other heroes. But the only real heroes I really like played through were Aurora and New. I've dabbled against Enigmas, but I didn't really get to experience any heroes that I've LL. The only hero that I have any like play with, I would say at any level, is probably like DIE, but I was playing against, you know, hard fatigue pistol DIE, and I was like, this is the grossest mech, especially as a mech player, I've ever seen.
That's what she turned into.
That's so sad. Mechanologist is my favorite, like outside of Levia is like my favorite thing in the game of Fab. I think mechs are the coolest thing ever. So to see her just be block, 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 2, 2, 2, block, 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 2, 2, block, block, 2, block, block, 2. That just wasn't me. I thought she would be stuck in what was it, like 976 for the rest of her life until someone just gave her the win. Yeah. So
I mean, she ended up winning like a pretty big event. She won Spain. Like Spain's like nothing to like scoff at. Like,
Spain has a lot of good players.
A lot of really good players in Spain. So, yeah, that's actually one of the reasons why I like left her, because I started playing the game. I shouldn't say like early into Inception. Like I know we said early into Inception, but it was like right before Monarch release. They had just gotten Monarch product, and they're like, "Hey, we're spreading into this game. You should get into it. Here are the heroes. We have a bunch of WTR and we have a bunch of ARC, and then we're getting Monarch product." And like shortly after that, like Jesse got into the game. Like I think maybe like a month. A month after I had bought 4 cases or some shit. Like he had gotten into the game, and then we were all playing the game. And at the time, I think he was like on Rhinar and Viserai, and like and I was on Dash, and then eventually I ended up on Bravo. And that's when I started like really enjoy the like Guardian aspect.
Sent into madness.
Yeah. But yeah, the reason I had originally like started to explore, because I was like, I'm all in on mech. Like mech looks sick. I love all the cards. Like the mechanics are really fun. Is because I think like Matt Rogers at the time won his like one of the like early callings in the game, and he won it with like a slapdash, like basically just like a lot of blocking and then building up your like Exodia of items, and then just going, all right, cool, now I can shoot you for 6 every turn if I have a blue or whatever. And I found that every game ended up feeling basically the same, and it was either I block well enough, get to my Exodia and win, or you just destroy me. And it got kind of boring, and that's why I ended up off of her. But that game style, obviously, as you add more and more cards and things get more diverse and interesting, and you start adding more heroes, it becomes a whole new puzzle to solve with every meta. I didn't really get that. I didn't really give it that chance to develop that way, because we had like 5 different versions of Dash IE at one point, like doing well, So, but very, very wide open hero Dash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And now she's gone.
And now she's gone.
Rough, but we still have a lot more mechanologists in the game now. We have a lot more heroes in general in the game now, and a lot of them are putting up numbers. Do you want to get into that?
Yeah. So we just had Nats. Nats is pretty cool, and a very wide, diverse meta. We had, if I remember correctly, we had 20 different heroes win a Nats. Like that's.
Katsu was one of them.
Yeah, Katsu's one of them. I don't know how the fuck that happened, but yeah, we had 20 different heroes.
Whoa, Katsu's a good hero.
We had 32 different heroes, which I think there's like 34 in the game, have a top 8 appearance. The meta is actually so diverse and like flushed out right now, and I did not expect that. Like I fully expected Gravy to just be like, "Hey, I do the thing that everyone's afraid of, handle me," and us not be able to handle him. And then turns out that there's a few heroes that just go, "Oh, we got you." Like. We will handle this menace. So yeah, mainly Syndra and Slippy, it seems. They both had a lot of representation. Actually, I don't think Slippy had that much representation, but they had a very good conversion rate. So, which I think we can look on this and see how much exactly Slippy had. I think it was like 140 appearances total overall the nationals, and then 33 top 8s. Like that's pretty good. It's a pretty good conversion. So, yeah, like, basically, when we're looking at it, the top, like, 5-ish decks are Syndra, Slippy, Baby Bones, Prism, and Verdance, right? And we have the other ones, which is, like, Dash.io, Azalea, Marionette. Those all did well. They all had a lot of appearances. They didn't really win very much, but they were there, and they were always a part of the equation. But yeah. So how do you guys feel about this meta? I know we all watched a lot of content over this last 3 weeks watching all these nationals. Did you guys enjoy watching these games? Like, is this a meta that you guys enjoy experiencing, or not a fan?
Yeah.
Let's start with you, Dante. Being a newer player
so,
in the game.
Me, I was a hardcore Magic player, and I never thought. And I've tried to watch, pro Magic, and it's just not. It just wasn't for me. And then they introduced me to Nats, and I was like, would I even like this? And as I got more enveloped with the game and watching it, it is so exciting, and it's always on. It's like must see TV on YouTube all the time. And my favorite thing about Fab is that it isn't these are the best things and you can't, there's nothing else. No, you will see random shit happen. A Kasai beating a Prism randomly somewhere. That doesn't make any fucking sense. You'll see, you'll see Synders explode out of nowhere. Slippy, I didn't know Slippy could get through Gravy, but Slippy proved me fucking wrong. Slippy's whooping ass right now. And it's just cool to see. And as a newer player trying to learn the game, absorbing so much high level Fab, I just feel like it's so good as like a player to like be able to watch like the best of the best go at it and implementing what I see and learn into my own play style. And yeah, I love Nats. I love Nat seasons. I love whenever that shit's on YouTube, I'm excited because I'm watching it. So yeah.
Hell yeah.
I feel the same exact way, so
I agree with you. Yeah. I am like, so Magic had a Pro Tour this month where 40% of the field was rural mice, and it's just not interesting to watch that a whole bunch of times. Whereas like I caught some of probably 10 different like national events. Like I caught Malaysia, I caught Philippines, I caught Spain, I caught the UK, I caught Canada, obviously caught US because I love to watch that one. And it's like you get just so many different heroes, and you get to watch so many different game plans happen. And I love that specialists are real in this game. Specialists are valid in this game. Granted, if you're on just like a straight dead hero, it's going to be hard. But like Majin Bay winning US Nats way back in the beginning, Majin Bay is just the wizard player, right? Like everybody knows him. Like honestly, just kind of like Kano. But the switch to Verdance, amazing call. Piloted that deck like a fucking animal to a win. And then like just watching people who are like devoted to an archetype or a hero or a class do well and put up numbers. And I think that's really, really cool because I am of the mindset that I would like to play things that I'm connected with aesthetically and thematically as well as mechanically, rather than playing the thing that I think is going to be best into the field. Right? It causes me to lose a lot, but I don't lose as much as I would in other games. Because in Flesh and Blood, if I know my matchups, if I know my deck, I can play to my outs. I'm more there.
Yeah. No, I mean I agree. I think like right now, it's interesting because the format is so open. I mean, obviously we have like there's a meta, there's like a best deck. There are not best deck, but there are definitely decks to look out for, and there are decks that you have to build around. Mainly the Slippy, the Cinder, the Gravy Bones, and then you never want to leave like a wizard unchecked, right? If you go to a tournament and you have
Prism's on the back end there too.
Yeah, and then Prism.
Prism's been creeping up.
Yeah, Prism's just good. I mean, so like, but it's so diverse that I feel like it actually is like really rewarding for like specialist players. Like obviously there are some heroes where it's like, okay, like maybe
Olympia.
Shouldn't. Yeah, hey, listen, brother.
Fuck you in a brain.
I'm on puppet now. Listen.
Yeah, better choice.
Which yeah, so I do think that it's pretty wide open. It's really cool, and I'm excited to see like what like seeing all this information, seeing how it's all developed, and watching Dash Aigo, and then also like we mentioned earlier, like Azalea is at 999. I mean, she's live for Singapore, and Singapore's right around the corner. So yeah, I'm excited to see how this all translates into Singapore. Last thing before we move on, I want to get your guys' take. I want to see like what you guys think. Who are the 3 most represented decks and in Singapore? Do you think it's the 3 biggest winners? Do you think it's completely different? Because I will say, one thing I was surprised is by watching all these events, I thought for sure Gravy Bones was going to be the number 1 played in basically every event. There were a lot of events where Gravy wasn't represented at all, which is probably a mistake. But I was just like, that's crazy. So what do you guys think? What is being played in Singapore?
You want to go first, Dante?
Yeah. So just to touch on what you said, I think the Gravy thing comes down to a piloting thing. I feel like, although I personally dislike ally heroes as a whole, I'm not a huge fan of ally heroes in Fab. Piloting Gravy specifically into anything aggro has to be a fucking headache. Or piloting Gravy into other gravies. So I think that comes in account for why the representation may have been low in some places, just like understanding how to pilot this blue pile of whatever the fuck he's doing and making it great. My personal take on Singapore, what I think is going to be the most represented is going to be Syndra, Verdant, and Gravy. That's going to be my call on like the most represented decks at Singapore.
What about you?
That's
Andy?
good. That's good. That's a good call. I think mine's gonna be very similar. I think Syndra's gonna be the most represented, just because I feel like Syndra's one of those heroes that like people flock to because it's an aggro deck. It's fun to pilot, and she's hot. Syndra's hot. I think.
She got the waifu buff.
Yeah. No. Deadass. She got the
And
waifu
you get
buff.
the promo.
So-
You get the beach promo when you go to
Oh
Singapore.
my god. Yep.
Yeah. Ooh, forgot about that.
I think Syndra's going to be the most represented. I'm stuck between Gravy or Verdance is the second most represented, and I think they're going to be second or not in top three. Like I think there's going to be like a little gap. So I think I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go Syndra. I'm going to go Gravy, and then I think I'm going to. Oh, man. I think I'm going to go Slippy. People are seeing how Slippy does work, and they're a nasty deck, man. Like Slippy, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. Slippy's nasty. With the amount of disruption, you can easily like strip hands from Syndras, and they just can't send back anything. I don't know how they've been pressuring Gravy and dealing with this, but they're doing it, and I'm just excited to see more of it because I'm also an ally hero hater. So I think Slippy, Gravy, Syndra.
One thing that I've noticed about Gravy is that it's pretty difficult to just operate hands that aren't full. Like it's like if you go into a turn and you have like 2 or 3 cards, you're just like, shit, this fucking sucks. Like I needed my whole hand, or I needed a 5-card hand to like actually do anything. And when Slippy can be like, hey, I'm gonna do damage, and then on top of doing damage, I'm gonna fuck up your hand. It just makes the game hard. Like the deck is already hard to play, and that deck just makes it harder for you to play the game. So it's just like twofold. Also, like Slippy just gets to run Regicide, which is hilarious. Like
I love that.
Like
Also, if you want to see Slippy gameplay, you can check it out here on the Swing Lethal YouTube. We have a gameplay video up, Bravo versus Slippy. It's not great Slippy gameplay because I'm piloting it, but it is fun content.
No, it is really fun. Yeah, the 3 though, like to get back into that before and we can move on to our next topic, but the 3 that I think are going to be most represented, like, I do think Gravy is going to be the most represented. It's a Pro Tour, best players in the world are playing there. I think Gravy is one of those decks that really lets you show how good of a player you are. So I do think Gravy is going to be most represented. I think it'll be Syndra, and as the clear answer, or not clear, but assumed answer to Gravy. And then Verdance, just because Verdance is she's a very like methodical deck, hard to play, hard to pilot, but also, or not, I don't know, I don't want to say hard for me to pilot. So
hard to pilot.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say it.
She looks hard. She's like so the lines like you mentioned it earlier, like Majin playing that deck like crazy. I would never have guessed any of the lines that he took. Like I would have been so lost playing against him. We had a local who's like probably one of the best players among us, who's just like, I'll never be pro. And it's like, bro, you can't say that. Like you can't say that because if you're never gonna do good, we're never gonna do good. Like,
notably, that local is a devoted Wizard player.
Yeah,
like for as long as I'm just on Kano, a couple weeks on Verdance, it's like
devoted Wizard player. And then I also think like they got like 16th place in Nats. Like they did well in Nats. Like I don't know, but whatever. Yeah. So we can move on to our next topic though. You guys are ready?
All right. So, speaking of the multiple heroes who have LO'd, and to my knowledge, there were only 3 talentless heroes LO'd, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not Azalea, not even Azalea. She's not even fucking LO'd yet. Viscerai and Dash IE, I think, are the only 2.
Yeah.
So, as a new player, I'm going to ask the question: were talents a mistake? And what are you guys' thoughts on talents and how strong they come on? Josh, what are your thoughts on what talents bring to the game of Fab?
I am actually on the side that like I don't think talents are a mistake, and I don't think talents are necessarily like what push heroes to be like as like way too strong. Obviously, like when you introduce a whole new card pool to a hero, they're going to be stronger than the ones before it. But I also think that's just like a side effect of the fact that it was such a new game, and we had heroes that had 400 cards, and then you're like, okay, well these heroes have 480 cards, you know, and it's like, okay, well, like, yeah, obviously those heroes have more options, they have more things like at their disposal, and then also like, you know, there's a bunch of things going on there. But I don't think necessarily that like that's the talent's fault. That's just like, it's a new game. We're getting there. Eventually heroes will be more fleshed out, and eventually like the talents aren't going to be as impactful or as like or like matter as much, because we like every hero is going to have 1,000 cards in their pool or whatever, or XYZ, right? Because like for instance, like going into Jarl, right? Jarl, talented hero. Everyone thinks, dude, this guy, he's coming into the game. He's the only hero that's gonna have like 900 cards in his pool. He's gonna be fucking broken, and he isn't. Like he's all right, you know. But and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that his hero power is like not, I don't say dumbed down, but it's like definitely like a hindrance, right? Like they're like they know what they did wrong was like make the heroes that were, you know, had multiple talents way too powerful, and they're like, okay, well, we want him to have an interesting power, but we don't want it to be like game breaking, right? Which is like, so the way that they make it a little bit harder is they make it to where he can only put frostbites in exposed equipment zones, right? Like, so it adds a flavorful idea to the hero, but also like hinders his like ability to just be like boom 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 boom, you know, frostbite frostbite frostbite. So yeah, like I'm of the personal belief that I think a lot of the heroes that have LL, either one, they LL because the game was a little bit newer and had trouble dealing with the fact that it didn't have a huge card pool for all the heroes, or two, they just had really, really strong hero powers. And I think talents are like is a good way to like expand the game without completely breaking the class, in my personal opinion. But yeah, I think that's where I'm at.
I think I would disagree. Not that talents are a mistake, because I think talents make the game more interesting and allow for more avenues of like thematic or aesthetic resonance. Because, you know, some people who like see Runeblade won't vibe with Runeblade, but when you see Aurora, who's like this like almost like pop girl coded lightning Runeblade, you definitely find people who are going to resonate with that, right? Who see this like cutesy hero and are like, hell yeah. And I'm always a big fan of that, of like, hey, I see a thing that I resonate with, I'm going to follow that path. And more talents means more paths. But I definitely think talents are pushed way harder than they need to be, because they want to be so different than the core mechanic of whatever they're doing. So now you have what is essentially two, not classes, but like two groups that do different things, operate on different spectrums, and you can mash those together. Like Aurora, who's a Runeblade, who has access to split damage and arcane damage, but she's also a lightning hero and has CLV, who got Skyward Serenade, who got the thing of Cilio now breaks.
Gone in a flash.
Gone in a Flash. Yeah, Gone in a Flash, Blast to Oblivion. All of these just lightning cards are so pushed because it's just lightning. You're like, oh, well, if we want to have people play lightning, lightning's got to be good. And it's a very small card pool. Those cards are insanely good. To the point where, like, I've watched whole Aurora games where Aurora's activated, her hero power is activated like maybe twice throughout the whole game. Because you don't need her hero power. All the power's in the card pool, like Josh was saying. But that card pool is still insanely strong. And like, yeah, Jarl lacks a little bit as the only like ice earth hero in the game. He's lacking, but ice is probably the weakest talent. And like, if you look at earth, you look at Verdance, you look at Florian, they are insanely good. And if you took like the earth power cards out of those decks, I think the power comes down a lot. Like if you can't play Fellings of the Crowns, if you can't play Plow Unders in Verdance, what is she really gonna do? Like, her hero power is cool. I love that like avenue. I don't like life gain, but I like how she's built, where it's like whenever you gain life, you deal one arcane. Like that's cute. But when your opponent can go, hey, 4 blocked D react, 4 blocked D react, here's a 2-card 8. Like those are all earth cards, right? Mm-hmm. Ruban Carapace, Felling of the Crown. Those are all earth cards. Those cards are insanely statted. And like the Jarls that are doing the best are just Earth Jarls. Because Ice Jarl is not very good. Ice is really good in things that can abuse it, but like Josh said, they toned down that for Jarl. He can only make Frostbites in exposed zones, so it has to be later in the game when he can start taxing people. Talents as a whole are pushed and are just much stronger than normal card pools. And I think that is super evident in the fact that, like how Dante said at the top of this, we only have 2 non-talented heroes that have LL'd. We got Viserai, we got Dash IE. That's it. Everything else is carrying a talent. What was the strongest thing in Lexi? Voltaire? Twice per turn load a bow?
Very
Or load an arrow?
Voltaire and his interaction with Endless Arrow and Razor Reflex, which are both untalented cards.
Those are untalented cards, yes. But Voltaire is an elemental bow. Can't play Voltaire anywhere else. And it's built on lightning.
It's built on
like
Lexi.
if you look at the design, okay, but the design of Voltaire, twice per turn instant, that is a lightning thing. What does instance?
I mean, yeah, lightning does do instance, but also, yeah, I mean, yeah, it is an elemental bow. Yeah, it has the Lexi things, right? It has the go again. It has
what was the strongest card in your opinion in Briar?
Fuck, that's a hard one.
Channel Mount Heroic comes to mind immediately. If not Rosetta Thorn.
I mean, I think the strongest card in Briar at any point in time was definitely Ball Lightning, but yeah, but yeah, I mean, Briar, just like her texts. I mean, obviously she received an errata. They had to change the way that she worked fundamentally. Like, there's a lot of things going on with Briar. I don't know what the strongest card in her in particular was at any like at the end of her lifespan. I know that she ended up LLing on like a fatigue list. I didn't get a whole lot of games into Briar, to be honest. Didn't have a Briar player in our meta, so. But
yeah. I don't think they're a mistake. I just think that they're just pushed.
They're pushed.
Insane
Yeah.
pushed.
I mean, I agree that they're really pushed, but yeah, go for it, Dante. My bad.
I think what Josh said was low key kind of correct. Now, I do think talents are very strong. I do think talents they do create a sense of self to these heroes when they become talented or they come out as talented. It gives them a sense of self when they have 2 card pools. That's the fact is that they do have 2 card pools. I do think that may give them that aggressive push that they feel is that, like, along with they get to play the best of the best from their class, they get to play the best of the best from their talent.
That's
and I think,
blessed.
Damn it. So, it's like the best of both worlds situation when you get to play the best of 2 different things, like Puffin. Puffin's dual classed. She gets to play any cool mech card she wants, and she also has to play the fucking wet boat and fucking conquer the high seas. So I just think giving access to multiple card pools will just inherently make anything strong. And with that a note, what is your guys' favorite hero design and your least favorite hero design? Andy, take me away. What are your thoughts on that?
All right. I've thought about this a lot, and so my favorite hero design, I think, is one that I actually don't even play, and that's going to be Vincent Iron Maiden. I think this is my favorite hero design because it's a very clear and blatant hindrance. It is a restriction in the hero that also gives value, because at the start of your turn you have to banish a card, so you're playing 1 card down, but you get value in that. You get the rune chant. The card pool of Vincent is designed to be played out of the banish, so I think the coupling of the hero with the card pool is just really, really well done. And I love that it gives direction and it gives flavor, right? Like, in addition to the banish at the beginning of the turn, you also have the thing that says whenever you play a shadow card, you can lose a life. You can choose to lose a life to make the first arcane damage unpreventable. And how fucking thematically perfect is it that Vincent Iron Maiden, this character that's in an Iron Maiden suit, who's like inflicting damage on herself, it mechanically can do that in order to gain benefits. I think it's beautiful. It's a marriage of mechanics and theme and aesthetic, and I just love how flavorful it feels. Vincent is my favorite hero design. My least favorite hero design. Oh God, it is Ira asterisk, because Ira, before literally 4 days ago, Ira had no identity. Ira was your second attack gets +1, and that is what you could put that text box in any hero. In any hero, maybe not Guardian, because what do they know about a second attack unless they're Victor? But there was no design. It wasn't a ninja. It was just the first hero ever made for Flesh and Blood, so people had to learn on it. So it was incredibly simple, and in that simplicity, it lost so much like theme and aesthetic. It is just mechanically an overrate card every turn, right? The pairing of Kadachi CNC for 7, Kadachi Erase Face for 7, and just any generic 6 that is insanely good now is an additional breakpoint. And this question to me was very obviously Ira, like 4 days ago. Now that we have the Ira Armory deck come out, to the point where it's like we've seen all of the new cards that are coming in it, they're pushing her towards playing Edge of Autumn. She has cards that combo with Edge of Autumn. She's becoming a ninja. She's gaining an identity in her class, and I love that. Until that Armory deck is out, my answer is still going to be Ira, because I can't play it in paper yet. So, favorite one, Vincent. Least favorite, Ira. How you feeling, Josh?
Josh? Ooh, there we go.
Okay, so this is gonna sound weird because I know that there's like a lot of strong feelings. My favorite hero design in general is actually okay. I'm gonna have to choose one. I was gonna say one of two.
Nope.
One. Yeah. So I'm gonna choose one. My favorite hero design is definitely. How do I say definitely? My favorite hero design is probably Bravo. Starvo specifically. Bravo, star of the show. And the reason that he's my like favorite hero design, outside of the fact that obviously everything he does is oversatted, like the +2, dominate, Gogan, like all those things is crazy. But what I really like about it is that you need to be able to like do the thing of revealing each of those things out of your hand, right? You needed to like roulette, like have your deck built in such a way that you can fulfill those properties in order to get that bonus, right? So like theoretically, if you build correctly, you will always have value from that hero, right? That hero is always able to present value. And his power, like, I mean, obviously his power is just like, hey, I'm gonna turn these, like his power specifically is I get to turn what would essentially be like not very powerful cards into insanely powerful cards because I'm giving them +2, dominate, and go again. Like that is a little too much, but I do like the idea and I like the design space of like, hey, you built correctly, so now you get a large payoff from my hero power. But on that same razor's edge is you can go one of both ways, right? Because my other, like the one what I would say like is my least favorite design is a hero that I love playing. I enjoy the hero, but it is Olympia. Because Olympia has kind of like the same ideals, right? Like if you build correctly, you get the promised value that your hero's there, right? If you build enough with enough wager and you're winning enough wager cards, you'll get the gold. But gold itself, and there's a couple of heroes that have like this like thing where it's like, hey, it's theoretical promise value, right? Like it's not the same thing as like +2, dominate. Like those are obvious, like that is promise value. Gold isn't like guaranteed promise value. It's you might be able to get some stuff out of it. You might be able to fix your hand. Like it's theoretical promise value versus like guaranteed promise value, and I think that's like the thin line of like an amazing hero versus a weak one or like a shitty one, and that's my issue with like that design where it's like, okay, like it's so difficult to like hit that like good mark, and obviously like we know the difference, right? Like you get Bravo, who has the promise power of like, hey, I'm gonna fucking control this game for 4 months before I disappear, and then you have Olympia, who's going to be in the game for the rest of eternity, unless they print cards that allow his power to be promise value, right? Like right now, it's not promise value; it's theoretical value. So that is where I'm at with that, with design, and I enjoy deck building restrictions in that aspect. And I think most heroes, if not all heroes in this game, require some sort of restriction, some sort of deck building, like, hey, you can do this thing if you have this, you can do that, blah blah blah. Outside of obviously what Andy just said, which is the original ninja that doesn't have an actual design like philosophy. It is just your next attack is +1, which is like it's weak, but I don't think it's like the worst design. I think it's very good for what it was meant to do at that time. So, yeah, that's where I'm at when it comes to design.
Do you think just in the spectrum of Starvo to Olympia, does it feel a little bit like Puffin's right in that middle between theoretical promise value and guaranteed promise value? Do you feel like the hero you're on right now?
It is
like
it
you
is,
built
it
correctly
is
with
literally dead center middle where it's like, okay, I have enough cog generation. I'll definitely draw cards, and if I have enough gold generation, I'll definitely make more cogs, which will definitely make me draw more cards. So it's like it is literally like almost like to a T the perfect amount of promise value where it's like, all right, I'm definitely going to be doing the thing that I want to be doing. The issue with Puffin is that what she's doing is still too fair, right? Like it is still too much in line with like the weakest part of the game, right? Like that's why she's not putting up numbers. That's why she's like not doing certain things, is because like she's like, okay, hey, like I'm doing the thing, but like the cards that I am drawing are 1-for-4s. You know, it's like okay, that's interesting, cool, bruh. Or it's like, oh, I drew a Palantir, but I have 1 cog, and it's like, okay, well, that's the Palantir's. Yeah, well,
They've always got 5.
If it's me, I only ever have fucking 1 cog. This shit sucks. But
I've never seen a low value Palantir.
Full lies.
Never once have I seen a low value Palantir.
Maybe 2
Real.
cogs if I'm lucky.
Full lying.
But yeah, no, like I do think that she's like right in the middle. What about you, Dante? You didn't get to express your thoughts on this.
So my favorite hero design is Levia. It's super simple. If you banish a card with power 6 or more, turn off your Blood Debt, which means I get to play some of the most juiced brute cards on the planet with the potential risk of absolutely dying, which I do very often. My least favorite hero design in the game is Katsu. In the game of Fab, I have an issue with the amount of card drawing and tutoring that there is. Although, yes, as Andy will complain about, I still run all of these things. I will absolutely tutor. And I will absolutely draw cards. Yeah, whatever, dog. I think these things should be limited. And when your hero says, if you hit, and of course you have to meet the requirement of discarding a attack action with 0. That's correct.
You have to discard no, you just have to discard a 0-costed card.
And tutor into banish a combo card. If I could do that on any other hero, I would 100% play it. I just don't like Katsu. I'm a Katsu hater. That's on me. But I think tutoring on your commander is a bit fucking much. That's my take on it.
Yeah. We're going to get into the next thing now. I just want to say, tutoring and card draw are your pet peeves, and you playing Spark of Genius, which tutors and draws a card on the same card.
But not on the hero text, bro. That's not on the hero text.
Oh, okay.
I gotta find it, homie.
Well, since we were talking about hero designs and design theory, we all came to this idea. We do this all the time, and I love that we're doing it on the podcast now. We created cards. We're gonna do this every week. It's gonna be our design space. We give each other prompts to make a hero, make either a weapon or an armor piece, and then we make a specialization for the hero. These are all original cards based on whatever prompts we give to each other. This week, we gave classes and we gave talents. So all of us are presenting a Flesh and Blood hero with a class and a talent that has not been mixed before. So I will go first, and my prompt was given from Dante, and it was create a shadow warrior. So I will present to you guys now Sir Beryl, given to temptation. Sir Beryl is a shadow warrior hero with 4 intellect and 40 health. Sir Beryl says, once per turn, attack reaction for 2 resources, banish a card from your hand. If that card has Blood Debt, target weapon attack gains +X, where X is the number of cards with Blood Debt in your banish zone.
That's pretty sick. I actually like that.
Initial thoughts? What do we think?
I would play the fuck out. I love Shadow.
I wanted to marry warriors being all about their weapon, all about attack reactions, and Shadow having blood debt and being able to like pay life for stuff. So thematically, this is named Sir from Sir Bolton, actually, a light warrior. That I love the idea of like somebody who is maybe from Solana, who was like maybe a light skewed hero, kind of falling to the demonastery, falling to like false promises, maybe giving up their own like oaths or promises. That's what I came up with in this design space.
Yeah,
Josh,
actually,
what do you think?
I really like the like idea that, because like he's not turning off his blood debt, and he's getting more benefit from the blood debt, and yeah, being able to do that at a reaction speed is like, hey, you know I have 8 blood debt cards, you know that I'm taking an 8 damage a fucking turn, but I'm also gonna deal an additional 8 damage, and you don't know when I'm gonna do that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
That seems pretty fun. I can see it getting pretty strong. But I do think that because, like you said, it's given to temptation. You're playing that game of like, am I killing myself or am I? You know, what I mean, like I think it definitely leans into the aggro portion that Shadow's been able to represent through the heroes that we've seen so far. So yeah, I really enjoy it. Actually, I think it's really good design, man.
It's all
and
about the race, and I fucking love the
when
race.
you pair Sir Beryl with his weapon, Broken Oath, he
Oh,
gets really nasty. Broken Oath is a Shadow Warrior weapon, sword, two-handed sword. It is a once per turn action attack for 1 resource. It is a 3 damage weapon. If you have less than half your starting life total, Broken Oath gains go again.
Ooh, I like that.
dang.
Yeah.
So as you're trying to like okay, that's interesting. That is interesting.
The the lower you get, the stronger you are. That's cool. That's what is that shit called? Misery Shadow? No.
Ooh,
Death Shadow?
ooh.
Death Shadow. It's the
Death
Death
Shadow.
Shadow
Dead
for Fab.
Shadow, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
How
good point,
fast can
Dante.
I
I
get
didn't even
down?
think about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I would play this, and I would
Yeah.
lose a lot, and I would love it.
So what do you guys think about Broken Oath? I the name, I found this art. This is from CG Newbie. I believe on Reddit. All the artists are credited on the cards right here. Just kind of found them online. What do you think of the design of Broken Oath?
I think that it's really good in the fact that like your gameplay in the beginning is like value out, send some good attacks, probably block pretty decently well. And then as the game turns over, you turn into like this hyper aggro, more than one attack per turn. Like I can really get behind this. This is a really cool warrior design.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's pretty interesting in the form that like you're not just innately giving it a go again, right? Like it has to build towards it, and that seems really fun. And you can still like, I mean, theoretically, right? You can still run like hit runs. You can still run the things that would give it go again for the early game, and then be like, all right, hey, all right, now these are just resource cards because I don't need to give my card go again anymore, and that
Mm.
seems really fun.
Taking a little bit of inspiration from Fang here in I need enablers early game, but once I'm turned on, I don't really need the enablers anymore.
Mhm.
I like that. I like that idea of Fang. And lastly, the Sir Beryl specialization, plunge into the soul.
Oof.
This is a red 1 cost Shadow Warrior attack reaction 3 block. You can only play it in Sir Beryl, and you can play it from your banish zone. Target weapon attack gets +3 until the end of the turn. If you have less than half your starting life total, or if an opponent has a card in their soul, this weapon may attack an additional time this turn.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's
hard.
dope. That's dope.
What
I
do you
fuck
think?
with this. It I like that it plays into one of my favorite warriors. What's her name? Dorinthia. How she's able
Mm-hmm.
to swing twice with her sword. I really that is fucking sick. Because now you're adding a very because you're able to banish this from your hand and then do it. Like that is perfect. That is perfect to me. I love this card.
Yeah, for 3 blue, or for not 3 blue, for 3 resources, you can just banish the card, play it from.
Mm.
Yeah, that's it. That is really hard, and then also like it's power on power in that aspect, and then does Sir Bro give it for the turn or just for the attack? Oh, it's just for the attack. Okay, that's still insanely good. So yeah, I like that design. It's really fun. Um, and it's I think it's balance in the form that it doesn't also add to that first line of text because it doesn't have blood debt itself, but it can still be played from banish. So that's kind of interesting. That's really cool. I like that a lot.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. This is Sir Beryl given to temptation with the specialization of plunge into the soul and rocking his signature weapon, Broken Oath. A lot of lore I've already put into my head for a character that doesn't exist, probably will never exist. Actually, will never exist. I love him already. I love him already.
Yeah. You're already a barrel man. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
I'm already
Well
a
said.
Sir Beryl man. I've never played Warrior. Have never played Shadow. I will now. I'm gonna kick it off. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead,
no.
Jeff.
I was gonna say like I'm also all in on the character that I designed. So yeah, I get it. I get it.
Hell yeah. I'm going to kick it off now to my boy Dante for
Yeah.
your. Go ahead and hit your presentation. Let me see it.
All right, all right. So for my challenge, I got challenged by Andy to make a light guardian hero, which I hate light, but I do like guardians. So this is my take on it. We
Light
have
Guardian. Interesting.
Sages, the Unyielding Sun. 4 intellect, 40 health, light
God.
guardian hero.
Hot as fuck is what it is.
Once per turn instant. I forgot a word somewhere in here. Charge to the soul. If a card charge was yellow, the next time a crush effect. So if crush requirement was met, create your choice of either a quicken, vigor, or might token.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, very interesting. I like the idea
So-
of giving crushes an actual on hit on top. Like it's kind of like Batter Book
Yeah.
where it has the on hit, but also it has the crush effect, and that's
Yeah.
kind of interesting.
So are you needing to crush, or if a crush card hits?
So I worded poorly. It needs to crush. So it has to crush. The crush effect has to happen. The crush effect
Okay.
has to happen. But I also play into the idea of that my favorite guardian is Victor, and he's able to attack more than once a turn. I was like, what if a guardian could give himself the ability to attack more than once a turn for fulfilling a requirement of guardian? So you send your one attack, the next turn you're sending 2 attacks, or getting an extra resource, you make your next attack big. Like it would allow you to plan turns ahead because of the variation of tokens that you can make. You'd be like, okay, I've got these cards in my hand. I can either attack twice, I can send one big CNC, I need the extra resource to pop off, like something like that.
What I think is interesting too is that he has the ability to charge built into his hero power, which is like something that's difficult for the other heroes. Like right, like we've had conversations about Bolton and Prisms and stuff. Was the thing that really held them back a lot of the time was the fact that they couldn't just like charge themselves. They had to do something else to charge their soul and or to like build their soul up, and their soul was always just like it was always like it was a secondary cost on top of cards that were already sort of weak. So it was like, okay, why does that exist, or like why is it that bad? And then being able to kind of like sidestep or like implement that into the hero design itself is really intelligent in my opinion. It's a good design.
And a guardian is nothing without his damn hammer. So his hammer is Helios. I don't have this shit pulled up one fucking second. Helios. It is a guardian weapon hammer, one-handed. 3 attack for 4. Crush. If this deals 4 more damage to a hero, you may banish a card from your soul. If you do, it gets go again.
Oh,
I thought that a weapon should have crush. I love the crush mechanic, and I think making someone block your hammer is even funnier when you're like, hey, if you don't, I'm hella gonna keep going.
Yeah.
It's asking a question. It's a hammer that asks a question, and I think that's cool.
Yeah. I think that it's sorry, go for it.
I was just gonna say it's there are several things I like about this design. One thing I love about this design is that it further rewards the Guardian game plan of I'm gonna block very, very conservatively and then swing hammer. Because now it's like, well, if I just don't care about hammer, that card you have in Arsenal might be something that comes after hammer. And this is a one-handed hammer. So you can run like Rampart of the Ram's Head. You can run like a shield here. I like that. I like because it definitely feels like Sages is giving like almost like hybrid Guardian in the Victor Avenue where you want to maybe send multiple attacks. Maybe this Guardian actually runs something like Snatch. That's the first thing that comes to my mind is Snatch, because if you go, okay, I have extra soul and I have a card in Arsenal and a card in hand, I've blocked out. I'm gonna send Helios, and your full tilt aggro opponent goes, okay, I'll take 4. And you go, okay, well, I crush, go again. This Snatch in my Arsenal is now another 4. Like it's almost like a hybrid guardian, right? Where it's like crush effects matter, but also I can send zero costed attacks.
Yeah.
I think we talked about this a little bit during the like light or not the light, but the talents versus like non-talented heroes, where it's like you want to design, especially at least you expect design to be, hey, this is a Runeblade hero, but it's not just a Runeblade hero, it is a elemental Runeblade hero. And in this case, it's like it's not just a guardian, it is a light guardian, and light does things with the soul. And usually it's like I go wider or I go bigger, right? So and I think that fits this like perfectly. That fits that aesthetic or that requirement pretty soundly.
All right. And to get into Sage's spec, Sunburn. So you've got a majestic yellow, pitches for 2, 7 cost, 11 attack, 3 block. Sage's specialization. As an additional cost, you must banish 6 cards from your soul. Crush. When this deals 4 more damage to a hero, attacks they control get -2 until the end of your next turn.
Damn.
God damn. Sorry, it took me a while. I had to like process it. Like, okay.
Do you want to go first, Josh? I took like 90% of Helios.
Yeah.
You can go first.
I really enjoy the card. My first reaction from it, right, like the first thing that I thought of when I saw it was actually like, I think it can be even stronger. Because you're banishing six fucking cards out of your soul. You know what I mean? Like that's a fucking requirement. So, because like the first thing that comes to mind when I see this card is I immediately think of the Bravo specialization, Starstruck. And Starstruck is just like, yo, crush effect, you can't even fucking play cards that aren't strong enough. You know what I mean? So, that was my first reaction. That being said, like, I mean, the stat line is right. 7-11 crush. It does everything you want it to. I think the crush itself could be just a little bit stronger. Even if it was like -4 on all attacks, or, you know, -4 and you draw a card or something, you know, like something like that. Like that. Just a little bit more oomph, because it design wise it fits. It does everything that a light hero specialization you expect it to do. It does stuff with the soul. It has the crush effect. It's a guardian, it's a light card. But it's just like, okay, hey, if I'm fulfilling these, like, yes, we already talked about how he can do it a little bit easier. It's built into his hero text. He can do it for free. XYZ, XYZ, XYZ. But like, still, like that's a requirement to build that much light up over a certain number of turns. If you draw this early, you're like, you're fuck, I can't play this. I don't.
Yeah, you might just charge this.
Yeah, you're like, oh fuck, okay. But that being said, you draw a late game. It has a little bit more power stuck behind it. You're like, hell yeah, this is gonna hurt my opponent. Or even if you would like to change it to be like, as an additional cost, you can banish 6 cards from your soul. If you do, it gains dominate or something like that. That'd be cool. Or not, maybe not dominate, but like, because obviously they're like the as the design space, they've said that dominate was probably a mistake for the game. They're trying to move away from it, so maybe overpower. But still, overall, cool design. And I see the vision. What about you, Andy? Anything to say?
Yeah. Oh no, definitely. I love this design. I love that you're full leaning into the absurd puns that LSS is so endeared to. I think Sunburn's a great name for this card. I love the stat line. I'm with Josh in that I think this could be juiced even more, but I'm actually with you on the second part. I think if this said, as an additional cost, you may banish a certain amount of cards from your soul, and if you do, give it dominate. I think this should gain dominate if you banish 6 cards from soul. If you banish 4 cards from soul, I think this should gain dominate. Like, this is something that's like, it's giving the lion, what's his name? The Lionson of Pride from Seven Deadly Sins.
Escanor.
It's giving Escanor, where it's like,
Escanor. Dude, that's so good. Yes.
Yeah, it's like, here's a big bad for this episode. Nobody can even walk towards this man because he's so scary and so terrifying. And Escanor is like, I've decided that I'm gonna kill you, so I'm just gonna do that now. I'm gonna throw the sun at you. And I think this could be like, I love this design. I think juice it a little more with evasion, and this is freaky because that's the one thing I think is missing from Sages is just evasion, right? Yeah. Guardians can throw a fuck ton, but if somebody decides to like start respecting Guardian, yeah, they won't have a turn. They'll probably get fatigued out, but
he's also That's what I'm saying. He's also a guardian that wants to play crush cards, right? Like his whole effects is with crush cards, and one of the things that's so hard about crush is that if you just never let a crush hit, he can't do anything. But if you build an evasion to his hero power, or not hero power, but to his identity,
his spec.
Yeah, spec. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Sunburn.
I think it's cool.
This is a guardian that I like. I don't play guardians. I liked Betsy in limited. Victor's a piece of shit and I hate him. I'm excited for Lyeth. I've never committed to a guardian. If Sages was a real thing, I think I would commit to this because this feels like a guardian that can go a little bit wider, can have like tricks, who's not just like here's an 11 damage, figure it the fuck out. Like he's got options, and I really like that.
Yeah, no, I've slowly collected light cards over the years, just like waiting for them to make like a light hero that I actually want to play. And I know, like I interviewed Ellie, and Ellie's like, Bolton's sick. I'm like, listen, Ellie, you're a Bolton. You're here with Bolton. I'm not here. I'm not there. I can't find that spark.
Talk about rewarding good pilots.
Yeah. I think I would go in on a light guardian for sure. All right.
Yeah. All right, and we're gonna bring it to our last one, Josh.
Okay.
Josh, what are you bringing to the table? Three cards. We had a mix up.
No, I'm showing all my fucking cards, bro. I'll go through them fast. All right. Listen, we had a mix up. I was prompted by Dante to bring to the table a ice brute. And with the ice brute, he told me to bring an equipment, a weapon, and a spec. I didn't see the spec part. I just heard like a card, and so I made a card that was not a spec. And then I was like, "Oh shit! I should probably make a spec." Like actually, so let's go. Let's introduce the hero first. All right. I'm sending you guys now. Hoarfrost, Blizzard Incarnate. My ice brute hero. Now, he's coming through. I promise. I'm
like looking. I'm like, where? Oh,
there he is.
Hell yeah!
This art is nasty.
Yeah. So he's 4 intellect, 40 health. The first time you discard a card with 6 or more power each turn, each opponent discards a card unless they pay 1. And whenever you discard an ice card, you create a frostbite token under each opponent's control.
Ooh.
Oh hell no! Oh hell no! Can I go first?
Go for it.
Immediately fucking no! Immediately fucking no!
You're telling me
you can
discard 4 cards, bro? He's got to figure it out.
You're telling me he can discard an ice 6-power card, and I have to discard unless I pay, and I get a frostbite?
Yeah, bro. That's a. And right now in the game, there is 2 cards that fulfill that role, and they're both bad.
But they're getting played in this. They're getting played in Hoarfrost.
Exactly.
I think
those
Josh
cards are spiking.
Took Jarl and Reinar and was like, "You're gonna have a freaky baby," and he fixed both of them.
Evasion and disruption. I'm gonna stax you and intimidate you.
D-Rex are way worse now. Like it's bad.
Well, also like in my head, I was like, okay, I want to build a brute that can play cards that aren't 6-power cards and like not feel so fucking useless. Like if I discard like an ice card, it's not the worst thing on the planet. You know what I mean? Like yeah, it doesn't fulfill my cards requirement, but at least it fulfills one of Hourfrost or requirements, so I can make a frostbite. And it's like okay, cool. Yeah, my turn's over. My wild ride doesn't get go again, but at least you get a frostbite token. Like that,
another point of value from missing, but still hitting technically.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. That's something I didn't take into account. Is like the idea that you're not going full ceiling here. You're going either ice or you're going 6-power. Because like if you miss in brute, it is like very detrimental. Like I've seen like Dante. We've run games into each other so many times where it's like at the end of the game you miss a pulping and you lose the game because of it.
Mm-hmm.
And also like my first design on the hero didn't have the first time you discard a 6-power, it was just better Reinar.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh, I'm stupid. That's just better Reinar. So I put that did the simulation. I was like, okay, maybe we should rein this back in a little bit. He's not just intimidating. He's actually making you get rid of cards. So that should probably only happen once if it's happening.
That's right. That's still better than intimidate low key because they don't get it back. They can't crack back.
They don't get that shit back. Yeah, it is.
They have to give it up.
Yeah. Hey guys, sorry about that abrupt ending. It turns out while we were encoding the pod, we ended up losing 10 to 15 minutes there at the end, as well as our footage being corrupted. But we had so much fun and enjoyed our conversation so much that we figured that we can still post it and just leave this here to explain to you guys what happened. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. We hope to make this a more regular thing, and we should have a couple more coming out to you soon. Please like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all the YouTube things, and I hope to see you in the future ones. Thank you.